Luca and I have officially made it to the CFL after 4 weeks of doing Huddle Up. We were invited to the Argos and Lions game, a potential Grey Cup matchup, which we talked about last week, on Canada Day. To do what exactly?
To retrieve the tees. Only for Argos kickoffs, because Sean White, I believe, is the BC Lions kicker's name. He's too showtime for us. He wouldn't let us pick up his tees, so he picked it up for himself.
Not the way I imagined making my CFL debut, but honestly,
pretty electric.
What an awesome experience. I guess we'll just jump right into it because we did a little, honestly, kind of like a vlog style video while we were there. Ton of fun. Thank you so much to the Argos for setting this up. They were phenomenal. But yeah, let's check it out.
All right, we know what the players do on the field every week, but what are some of the behind-the-scenes jobs in the CFL? We're at the Lions and Argos game this week, and we're picking up the tees after every kickoff. We're going to do a little rock, paper, scissors to decide who goes first, and we're timing ourselves. This is a competition. Whoever is the fastest wins.
Rock, paper, scissors.
So Pac won rock, paper, scissors. Do you want to go first, or do you want to pick who goes first?
I think there's a lot of pressure with going first, honestly. Okay. I'm sending Eric out first. Because I want to see how he does in those shoes.
I'm not wearing these shoes.
I don't care. I don't know. You got anything better than that.
Oh my God.
Wow, I'm regretting my decision already. That's easily plus 15 speed. Easily.
So I decided to bring the Hawaiian shirt. Eric brought the loudest shoes you could ever wear.
I brought 2 pairs of the loudest shoes you could ever wear, actually.
Rick, you ready?
Oh, couldn't be more ready. I'll give you the intensive stretching routine I used to do before rugby games.
Yeah.
Good to go.
There it is.
We're good.
Go.
Perfect. What we got going on here? Perfect. What do we got going on here? Oh, God. Don't trip. Do not trip.
Why does nobody have faith in me?
That line right there, the 20, is dangerous. Make sure you step over it. Yes. It gets me to 20.
Yeah.
Not trip.
25 seconds. Over under.
I go,
Under. Yeah, come on.
over. Give me the over. Always bet the over.
Get over?
Always bet the over.
Ooh.
That's rude.
I'm going under. I believe in you. Sniff. Deep breath in. Go. I'm joking.
Go. Okay, we got him.
Look at him run.
Time.
He doesn't know where he's got to go. 13-7.
Yeah, come on.
He jumped over the side.
13-7.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
When a Grey Cup champion tells you to watch out for the 20, you watch out for the 20. That's a good time. I'm not going to lie to you. That's a good time.
And you jumped over the 20.
Yeah, well, you have to.
The Argonauts return this one down the left sideline, cutting back, making the kicker miss, all the way to the house.
You got to get What's the time?
12-7-6.
Oh, hold second.
It's a good time.
12-7-6.
Beat it.
Cameron Dukes dives forward once again. Touchdown Argos.
Let's go, Chili.
What, are we thinking sub 30 for Chili, far run?
You ready?
Brock's saying the guy who he has to give the T to is nowhere to be found, and his time doesn't stop until then. So.
What was the time when I got off?
13.5.
That's pretty electric. So I won. I think my split for the longest distance, I think I won that.
Our friends over at Bar Down are actually working at BMO Field. They're going to be the tea retrievers in this game. They've already done it so far. I don't know if they're working the second half. By the way, their podcast, Huddle Up, on our YouTube channel. It's fabulous. So let's start here with Eric running out to get the tea.
Wow. The form is not good, baby.
The form is debatable.
He's hustling.
But it worked.
What was that?
That was amazing.
You got to admit, though, 13.7 seconds. That's not terrible.
If you're going backwards, it's not
Oh,
bad.
good. You know what we need after those highlights?
Oh, my
the
goodness.
body cam footage.
Oh, my goodness.
Just in case the first highlights weren't great. Oh,
Look at
I
that.
would keep the arms down.
Where's the jump?
I'd keep it a little tighter. There's got to be a form. Okay, here we go. Thomas is up next. I've heard that Thomas's time was fairly good.
Giving him some love right there.
That's nice of you. I thought Jim Barker was supposed to be on the field.
I thought you said Jim Barker.
No, not running. Okay, here he is. Oh, there he is. We have the libero
He's got
on
to
him
go
here.
a long ways.
What's his speed? Mill, what was your top speed?
My top speed?
Yeah, like in kilometers per hour.
Probably about 35, 36 maybe.
No, 35, 36 kilometers an hour?
Yeah,
No,
he's like a cheetah.
Really? Well,
I'd
anyways,
say
we
so. I
were
don't
supposed to have Luca as well. Oh, wait, we have
Luka?
Luca. We just
All
got
right,
this in.
okay.
Live
I've
footage,
gone
Luca.
against Luka. I've
Okay,
gone
let's get
against
it.
Luka.
Come on,
There we
Luca.
go.
Oh,
Now you had to
no,
go
he
all
got
the way
some
across the
form.
field, right?
When I was putting my bets together
And
for
he had
this
to miss
one.
players, too, as he's running out there.
Oh, that's
look at Luka.
impressive.
He's warming up. Look at that.
Oh, the NBA don't get bets away.
That's an obstacle course.
Dude, that
That's
looks
impressive.
like medical tent.
I
pop-up
heard
right
Luca
there.
had to go the furthest, though, so that's why his time was a little higher.
Oh, okay.
He's running
There's
through the
still
back.
time.
Nails, what do you think
He's
you could run
still
this
running.
in?
About 37 seconds. I'll add 10 seconds to that.
I think you can get this done in 25, no problem.
no.
As I said, well done with the Bar Down, guys. That was fantastic stuff down at BMO Field.
Inside the 3-minute warning with an opportunity here to take the lead. Kelly rolls to his right, looks into the back of the end zone. Nobody there, throws across his body into the end zone.
Eric, you ready for this, man?
Yeah, I think I got to juke players a little better than Luca did.
What's the time he's got to beat on this side, fellas? 27 seconds. 27 seconds. 27 and a half block? 27 and a half. There it is.
First and 10 Lions. On the BC 40-yard line.
Block me. 27:42. I don't know. It's pretty fast. Well, there you have it. I had the best time on the short one. Luca had the best yards per 60, whatever that means. The best yards per 60. The analytics are on my side for that run.
This guy's making up stats.
That's not a made-up stat. Check the tape. And Eric had the nicest shoes.
Thank you. Just another day in the office for the three of us.
So yeah, really fun job. We'd love to do it again sometime, but kind of stressful. Hard on the hammies too. I'm going to be feeling this tomorrow morning. And hey, Milt Stiegel, you think you can beat us running backwards? I'll see you in the parking lot Monday morning. He will hook us going backwards, okay?
Yeah, our times are kind of all over the place, but that was so much fun. Again, CFL reached out to us first and the Argos, so Rich, Kyle, and Matt at the CFL were like, hey, why don't you guys be the tea retrievers for a game? And then Chris at the Argos made it happen. He helped us out with the Andrew Harris interview too. Just all around beauty. All of them are beauties, and we're just really grateful we got to be a part of a CFL game. Not in the way that we probably grew up imagining. Didn't get to catch a pass on a CFL field yet, but that'll come at some point. But I mean, once Eric did it, the nerves kind of stopped, but he had the most pressure for sure. I think you were right just giving him the first go at it, just so you didn't have to have all that pressure on you.
Yeah, being there on the field with all the players up close was definitely really cool. A lot of pressure, and then Chris was talking about how sometimes the field gets chewed up with all the cleats. And
I know,
all the
and we
players
wore cleats
yeah.
too, so Eric actually had the advantage with his shoes a little bit.
But I don't know. Honestly, it was cool to even be on the field and see how well kept. I've never been on a grass field that was that nice before, and crowd with all those people. But yeah, super cool experience. I didn't even know a T retriever was a thing. I would have just assumed like the Lions do, that the kicker picks it up or someone picks it up. But yeah, honestly, it was awesome, and it was a great game too.
It was a great game. I was going to say a couple things I want to ask you. So you didn't have to deal with any of the avoiding players.
Yeah,
you
I
got
didn't.
The short
It was
side both
pretty
times?
much. I had the short side both times. It was pretty much wide open. I mean, I didn't have to juke VA like you. I didn't have to knock down. I don't know what that one guy's job is, holding the green flag, that Eric just kind of like, he didn't bowl him over, but he knocked the flag out of his hand.
He knocked the flag out of his hand. And, like, hilarious moment. I think that was the funniest moment.
Yeah, probably.
I will say, too, after the VA juke that I had, I think he didn't, it all went downhill for him after
you got in
that
his head,
play.
man.
So I got in his head. You saw the halftime comments of it, too? It went on the TSN broadcast, obviously.
Yeah.
You saw what Milt and Matt and Dave and Kate had to say. Any response from you? I know Eric's talking up a big game. He wants Milt to come out and race us backwards. I've actually been on the field with Milt. The guy, like, he could still go, man. Like, he could definitely beat us going backwards.
So my last run, I think I clocked like an 11.7.
Yeah, you did.
And
You're pumped about it.
There were a couple people in the crowd that were like, they spotted me. They had me going. And I think running on the pure euphoria of that moment, I challenged Milt. I said, I'll see you in the parking lot Monday morning. I don't know what I was thinking saying that, because there's no way. I mean, you're faster than me. You were claiming the 60-yard split.
Yeah, the yards per 60, I think I beat.
If you had the opportunity to go short, you would have beat my time. I think so anyways.
We'll see.
And Milt, the thought of racing him scares me.
Yeah.
But I loved on the broadcast that they poked fun at Eric's form.
Oh,
that was awesome.
So bad, his form. So what's he? I think he's the only one in the GoPro footage too that you can see his arms pumping. Like, like we ran normally. Eric decided that he was gonna morph into like a bodybuilder running.
And then he had a little hurdle for style points, which was good.
He
good
did,
for him.
and it was because Henoch challenged him and was just like, well, not really challenged. He said, you got to watch the 20-yard line. You got to jump over it because it could trip you up. And it got in his head a little bit.
Also, that's another guy I want to shout out because he's an awesome dude. Henoch Mwamba. I actually met him first at the Grey Cup when I went there in November. We did a little video with him. He was so good. And then obviously he's not playing, so he had some fun with us, just on the sideline chatting with us before we went out. Great dude, great player. So it was great to chat with him as well. But back to the broadcast.
Yeah.
I also want to thank Kate Burness because she actually said that my time was pretty good. She gave me some love on the broadcast.
Love it.
And they had the all 24 footage of me, which was cool.
It was so cool.
They
But
had
you
like the
clocked
speed.
in at like 28 miles per hour. I don't know how accurate that
I didn't
thing
know
is.
if that was I think it was kilometers, but yeah, I didn't know if it was a joke or not that they had that on there. I was looking up like, what's the average time of a sprinter? I think it said like, for average person, it's like 24 kilometers an hour.
Okay.
And then an average athlete is like 29 to 30. And I think I hit like 28.
So you're not an average person. You're an above average person.
Yeah, I don't know who the average person is that's running. So I don't know. This is just Google. And then I looked up Usain Bolt's time, and I think he clocked like 40-something kilometers an hour.
Well, Milt was saying
Milt said he did
his
35
like 35
or something?
Yeah. So,
I thought that was like cheetah speed, but maybe I'm confusing that with miles because that's all different. But anyways, yeah, super cool for the broadcast to feature us. All 24 footage was really cool. We had the GoPros going. Overall, an awesome experience. And BC Lions, their defense, week before, they held Winnipeg to 0 touchdowns on the road.
They only had allowed 1 in 3 games.
Yeah.
Just going into this game.
So going in, we were kind of like, hopefully the Argos come up big for us, score some points, so we have the opportunity to at least go once. And when I let Eric go first, even the way the game started, the Argos just couldn't muster much on offense. And then they got that big punt return. They got the pick.
Yeah.
That sort of shifted everything. And then the gates just opened, and we all ended up getting to run out. So, yeah, really cool experience. Very, very grateful that we got to do it.
Yeah.
And we hope this opens up doors for us on the show to continue to do stuff like this. I mean, we have so many ideas to work with teams, to work with players. So, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I don't know what our next job is going to be. I kind of want to somehow find my way into reffing, like whether it's doing the chains or being the ball boy, something. We'll dream up some scenarios and try it out, and we'll get Kate and the gang to chirp us some more. Kate also had her money on me. So sorry, Kate, if you lost any money. Because
Technically, you kind of won, though.
my yards per 60 were elite, but we actually weren't tracking that. So sorry about that. Let's talk about the game a little bit, though.
Yeah.
We've got two teams, and we talked about it last week where we thought it might be a Grey Cup preview. We put both of them in our tier list as like Grey Cup favorites as far as the teams we think we'll be seeing there when it's all said and done in Hamilton. Game didn't disappoint. Vernon Adams disappointed some BC fans, I'd say, with his 6 interceptions. A couple of them late in the game, but he threw some pretty pivotal ones at key moments. Like there was that one drive where they were coming in close to, I don't know if they were about to take the lead or what exactly the score was, but they were going to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
He just, an ill-advised throw. But you got to be impressed with the Argos defense, too.
You do, definitely, because the 45 or whatever points that they ended up putting up, I don't want to take away credit from the offense, but that is a team number.
Yeah.
Because they did it on all sides. Special teams, defense especially, their ability to win the field and then, create points off turnovers. And the offense did all the right things. Swag Kelly didn't make any mistakes. He was hitting his guys. The rushing game, as usual, I mean, we know how it is with the Argos when you got Harris and Ouellette, and then even, Kelly uses his legs as well. That was very, very effective. So I was a little nervous going in how they hold up against the BC D-line, and while they did have their moments, overall, the Argos just proved that they were far and away the better team in this one. And yeah, it's you can put it all on one guy because Vernon Adams threw 6 interceptions, but I'm not ready to write off Vernon Adams just yet. He's had a phenomenal season. Yeah, one bad game. Look at the week before. Zach Collaros against BC. 6 points. It happens.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see these two teams again, and I'm sure we'll see BC put up a much better fight and even maybe win the game. So it was a very impressive win, though, from the Argos.
Who impressed you most? Was there a player that, just seeing him up close, that just impressed you most? I mean, on the BC side of things, like Gary Peters, who we had on a few weeks ago, first ever guest on Huddle Up, he was really good. He was just locking anyone that was on his side down, like contested catches. Because I was still impressed with the BC Lions defense overall. Like they got a couple short fields that the Argos took advantage of and scored touchdowns on. But overall, like when they had the field position in their favor, they forced a lot of punts. They made plays on the ball, some sacks. Like Peters was just strapping people up. So he was impressive to watch up close.
I'm going to go with Sean Oakman. And it's not even like
just how big he is.
All he has to do is stand beside me, and I'm impressed. It never, ever fails to amaze me. I remember I talked about the video we did with Muamba back in November at the Grey Cup. He was a part of that too, and we had a media backdrop that we were thinking like the players can stand in front of that. We can frame them in the shot, and Oakman was too tall that his head actually went over the backdrop.
Really?
Yeah, like this guy's like.
Did you have to get him a chair after?
We just, we'll just roll with it. Whatever. It is what it is. If anything, it makes it even cooler. Seeing him out there, I think that's Eric's favorite athlete of all time.
All time. So
it was cool, and he had a pretty impressive game too. I mean, the Argos defense, like we said, they stepped up in big moments. But always it's such a different experience being on a sideline rather than just watching from the stands. And you appreciate how fast the game is, how physical it is. I remember actually, maybe you didn't see this because you were getting ready to sprint.
I saw it.
But when you ran to get the tee, the rule was we had to wait till the play was done. And that was one of the hardest hits I've ever seen delivered on that kickoff. And then, bam, you just went and bolted. But I was, like, trying to watch you, and then I just heard the hit. And, wow, you definitely gain an appreciation for the speed and the pace and the physicality of the league.
Absolutely. And it's I know not everyone's going to be able to watch the game on the sideline, but just implore you, if you can sit as close to the sideline as possible, like sit down low, try and do whatever you can to watch a game up close there, because it's a really cool experience. It's a really, really cool experience, and we're grateful for it. Like this experience hasn't dawned on us that we're very lucky to be in the position that we're in, and so if anyone ever finds themselves on the sideline, just take a moment and appreciate it, because it's super cool, and it's just such a unique and fun way to watch a game. We don't have a guest this week because I think we want to just try and fill in some episodes with content like this, where we're out doing stuff, whether it be with players in person or whether it be at games, different jobs, things of that nature. Like, we want to try and find some unique ways to not just have guests, and we've got some stuff lined up with some other guests that might not be CFL players, might be some TSN people. A little hint for you, but yeah, we want to just try and make this a little unique in different ways. So I think we should just go to the extra point and kind of wrap this up.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. We are heading into, I can't believe it's already been, 5 weeks that we're doing this show. So week 5 in the CFL, and we got a pretty great slate of games, actually. We are at the point in the season where games are starting to be a little bit more important. Teams are sort of starting to separate themselves, but a great slate of games. So I thought for the extra point this week, why don't we do, essentially we'll both just pick the game of the week.
I love it. I think I'll go with maybe the one that doesn't jump out, and it'll be Ottawa at Hamilton. And for the reason that we were talking about before the show, Jeremiah Mazzoli returning for Ottawa. They're 1-2, facing a Ticats team without Bo Levi Mitchell, needs a win at 0-3. And I think with Montreal losing to Winnipeg last week, Montreal looking mortal, and the Argos just looking so good, like, that second place spot is wide open. And if Mazzoli can come back, get this team back to 500, maybe put like the early nail in Hamilton's coffin here as far as like hopes for making the playoffs, because you fall to 0-4, you've still got a few games without Bo Levi Mitchell to go. Man, this could be a really fun race between Montreal, Ottawa, and Toronto for first in the East, because you still have all those matchups to go. Those teams haven't faced each other yet this season. So I'm looking at that one. Obviously, revenge is on the mind of Mazzoli, but it should just be a really fun game for an East Division that we're looking for that second best team right now. And Montreal is probably the favorite to be that, but Ottawa could really assert themselves, especially because I know the game you're talking about. Like, Montreal could find themselves 500 when this week is all said and done.
And talk about the Red Blacks. Last week when we did our tier list, we put them in the bottom tier.
Yeah.
If they win this week, which is very possible, especially with Mazzoli coming back, they're 2 games ahead of Hamilton, which is massive, especially for that last playoff spot if it comes down to that. But I'm going to head over to the Sunday nighter, and that is between the Alouettes and the BC Lions. We just saw the Lions, obviously, a really, really tough one. They're going back home now. I'm expecting to see a big, big bounce back from Vernon Adams. I know that this Lions defense is going to show up. And I'm also intrigued by that matchup with the Owls offense, because I still want to see a little bit more with Cody Fajardo. I know it was a tough matchup against the Bombers, but let's see how that Austin Mack and Gary Peters battle goes over this week. But I'm mostly focused on Vernon Adams. How is he going to respond from 6 interceptions? Because this could be a pivotal moment in what, honestly, going into this week had the lookings of a potential MOP season, because the Lions, we know that they're going to be near the top of the standings, and Vernon Adams has all the tools around him to put up great numbers and win games week in and week out. I think he's the type of guy that can put this in the rear view, come back, and play a really, really strong game against an Alouettes defense that has been playing well this season. So that's my game of the week.
I was going to say, like, it's a great test for the Lions again against another good defense. Like, they held Winnipeg to 17 points, Montreal, last week. They don't need a lot of points to win. Like, they're really good. So if you're a Montreal fan, you're looking for your offense to kind of just be decent enough where your defense is the kind of stabilizing force, and Cody Fajardo just catches fire and you score points that way. But if you're going to score 3, you're not going to win any game in the CFL, no matter how good your defense is. So, couple great ones.
Should be another fun week. Thanks for tuning in again, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Let us know what other jobs you want to see us do.
We're just like we're taking suggestions, we're taking comments, anything.
Yeah. So thanks again for tuning in. The sport's been great as of late, and we'll see you next week.
Guys, I think I know what your next job is going to be. Cheerleader.